Hello to everyone. I am Professor Raja, working as Assistant Professor EC Department at SNS College of Technology, an autonomous institution, Coimbatore. In this YouTube video, we are going to see the internal blocks in 8259 interrupt controller. Based on my previous YouTube video, you are knowing what is the meaning of interrupt and how these interrupts are performing the operations in 8086. In general, 8259 is a 40-pin dual in package IC, and how these interrupts are carried in 8086 means they are done based on the interrupt signal, that is by IR0 to IR7. So this is the internal block diagram of 8259. It consists of a data bus buffer, a read-write logic, a cascade buffer comparator, a control logic, and a interrupt mask register. The first two blocks, that is data bus buffer and read-write logic, I already completed in the previous YouTube video, so kindly watch that video. Now we start the continuation. So this first two blocks, they are mainly used to interface the 8086 microprocessor with the 8259. So through this D0 to D7, the microprocessor and the 8259 interrupts are controlled or connected. The next, this data bus buffer, the read-write logic and the control logic, they are used to interface the 8086 with the 8259. Then chip select, whenever the chip select is 0, then only the microprocessor have the ability to connect the 8259. Whenever the chip select is 1, the microprocessor and the 8259 are in ideal mode. And the interrupt mark register, this subsystem handles all the external interrupt requests. So based on this interrupt service register ISR, priority resolver PR, interrupt request register IRR, based on this only the microprocessor and 8259, they will do the external interrupt service request. The next, whenever the chip select is 0, the microprocessor and 8259 are communicated. Now we see the purpose of in-service register ISR. This block identifies all the current interrupts that are serviced by the processor. The ISR act as a buffer between the interrupt controller and the 8086. So whenever this interrupt service register will receive some input, microprocessor will stop the current execution of the program. Then they will give the all first preference to the ISR. Once the ISR is completed, then they tell INT signal to the external signal. The next, priority resolver PR. This logic block determines the priorities of the bits set in the IRR. The highest priority is selected and strobed into the corresponding data bit, and the ISR is executed. After this ISR, they will send the INTA pulse. The next, this logic blocks, this interrupt mask register. This logic blocks interrupts lines based on the programming by the processor. It prevents masked interrupts lines from interrupting the processor. Next, cascaded and comparator buffer. So buffer means it is a sample storage data. So this CAS0, CAS1, CAS2, all these lines are used for cascading multiple 8259 controller in a master slave configuration. So this 8259 have the capability to make a more number of interrupt devices are connected simultaneously. Once the 0 device is connected, the 1 and 2 are waited. Once 0 is over, then 1 and 2 are given to the connection. Once 1 is connected, 0 and 2 are in ideal state. So based on the current preference, they are waited for the next kind of operation. So this is the entire diagram of this 8259. So 8259 is generally an interrupt controller mainly used to perform an interrupt operation between 8259 and 8086. INTA is the interrupt access number. So whenever INTA is 0, the microprocessor will do that process. Whenever INTA is received some interrupt, then microprocessor stopped the current execution of the program and given the full priority to 8255. SPEN, it is a serial package enable pin. Power supply is calculated as a VCC ground. VCC is given to the positive of this 8086 and the ground is connected to the negative of this 8086. So this interrupt mask register, which is under the type of maskable interrupt register in hardware interrupt. So in 8259, they have the capability to control only the hardware based interrupt, not a software based interrupts. So thank you for watching my video. In the next video, I am going to discuss the new peripheral interface in 8086.